You feel like you're sitting in a waiting room while the rest of the world is already at the party. You look at the calendar and then you look at your life and there is a gap. A heavy, silent gap. You've said it to yourself 1,000 times, once I get that job, then my life will begin. Once I find that person, then I'll be happy. Once I heal, once I move, once I finally figure it out, but until then you feel like you're just on hold. Like you're holding your breath, waiting for the real part of your story to start. You feel a strange kind of guilt. A guilt that you're wasting time. A fear that you're falling behind an invisible clock. And when you see others moving forward, that old friend imposter syndrome whispers in your ear, maybe the reason you're waiting is because you don't actually belong where you're trying to go. But what if I told you that you aren't in a waiting room? What if I told you that the waiting is not a delay? Stay with me, because I want to show you what I see while you are waiting. I see the way you look at your reflection. You don't see a finished work. You see a draft. You see someone who is almost there but not quite. You live in the when, then trap. When I achieve, then I'll be worthy. When I change, then I'll be loved. I see the 2 a.m. thoughts. The ones where you calculate your age and you compare it to your accomplishments. You feel a tightness in your chest because you thought you'd be further along by now. You feel like an imposter in your own skin. You think, if people knew how stuck I feel, they wouldn't look at me the same way. You've started to treat this season of your life as something to get through. You're rushing. Mentally, you're already 6 months, 3 years into the future. But your body is still here. And because your heart is in the future, you aren't tasting the bread I've placed on your table. Today you think you are stuck in the mud. But I want you to look closer. Mud is just the place where I plant things. You aren't stuck. You are planted. Here is the secret the world doesn't understand. I am the God of the process, not just the God of the result. You are obsessed with the arrival. I am obsessed with the becoming. You think life begins when the stage lights go on. I think life begins in the dark where the roots are growing. If I gave you the big life you're asking for right now, it would crush you. Your character isn't strong enough to hold the weight of your calling yet. Your heart isn't quiet enough to hear my voice in the noise of success. The waiting is not me being slow. The waiting is me being careful. I am not a factory worker producing a product. I am a gardener growing a soul, and a garden cannot be rushed. You think you're losing time. I am the author of time. I can make one day feel like 1,000 years of growth. You cannot be behind in a life that I am leading. Think of David. When the prophet came to his house to find a king, David wasn't even in the room. He was in the fields, watching sheep, doing the boring work. Do you think David felt like his life hadn't started yet? Do you think he felt like an imposter? The prophet anointed him king, and then David went back to the sheep. He was a king, but he smelled like a shepherd. He had the crown in his destiny, but he had the dust in his shoes. He waited years. He hid in caves. He ran for his life. He sat in the silence of the wilderness. Was that wasted time? No. The wilderness was where he learned to trust my hand. The sheep were how he learned to lead my people. If he had gone straight from the field to the throne, he would have been a tyrant. The waiting made him a man after my own heart. You are in your wilderness right now. But don't mistake the silence for absence. I was with David in the cave, and I am with you in this waiting room. My child, stop trying to skip the chapter you are currently reading. You are so worried about starting your life that you are missing the life I am giving you right now. I love the version of you that is waiting just as much as the version of you that will arrive. I don't love the future you more than the current you. The current you is the one I died for. The current you is the one I am walking with. You are not an imposter because you aren't there yet. You are a masterpiece in progress, and a masterpiece looks messy in the middle. Your value is not tied to your season. If you are in a season of winter where everything feels dead and cold, you are still mine. If you are in a season of spring where things are just beginning to sprout, you are still mine. The waiting is the bridge. Don't try to jump off the bridge. Just keep walking, one breath at a time. Listen to my whisper, you are exactly where you need to be. The doors will open, the timing will align, the when will become now. But until then, will you let me sit with you in the wait? Will you stop punishing yourself for being human? You aren't behind. You are being prepared. Take a breath. Release the guilt. The real life isn't coming later. It's happening right now, in the waiting, in the quiet, in me. If you've felt like you've been on hold, if you're tired of feeling like you're behind, write one word in the comments: planted. Write it to remind your soul that you are growing even when you can't see it. And if you know someone who feels stuck in a waiting season, share this whisper with them. I am with you, always.